This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
All right, I'd like to call this meeting of the Easthampton Historical Commission. It's March 1st, 2023. And first order of business is public speak. Would you like to go during public speak? I mean,
Yeah.
Same difference.
I wrote a book about 23 years ago, and she was approached by Elise Feely. You should write about the lead mines. And so that's what Ma did, and she spent all day in the Forbes Library in Easthampton. So,
That's
kind
okay.
of background.
Yeah, and fish.
Before you go, could you both state your names so we can get that on the official?
Sure.
I'm Paula Rapolis.
All right, so-
And I'm her brother, Wallace. I go by Wally. Right. Yeah.
I'm Nora. This is Mike. That's John. And this is Beverly.
And I'm Beverly Wadika.
Hi, Beverly.
Oh, Wadika.
Wadika's new to Rapolis, yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah. And the reason why we are concerned about the Tasty Top proposal is because as we go, we don't drive, but anyways, going north on Route 10, going around the Rotary, down towards the bridge that crosses over the Manhattan, and we can envision that the river, it branches out, it bears to the left, and so this would be the Easthampton portion of the river, and one of the things that we are concerned about is that there is going the property is going to
Be dug up.
be dug up. Buttons.
Yes.
There's from the Williston Button Museum, where they produced cloth-covered buttons, and that are literally in the soil right now. There are buttons that, besides cloth-covered, a form of stone that later, through erosion with the river, the body of the button, if you will, progressively gets thinner, and so geological records in the history of Western Massachusetts by Professor Josiah Howland. There's a strata of lead in the Southampton/Loudville. A large amount of minerals have been found, most of which are ores or lead and some other metal. And the recent discovery of quite good crystals, because crystals made up a portion, were the composite of the buttons themselves. And I mentioned lead, and it is said that the possibility exists that the lead for these buttons goes back to the Revolutionary War. And that is something that concerns us. I just got out of the hospital, so I really haven't had that much time to peruse this.
But anyway, our mother, she wrote this book and, trying to put clothes on the old people down there. And, of course, we went to the Bannatyne Museum in Connecticut, and they had this man who wore buttons, a coat full of buttons and
That originated from here.
yeah. And so that was her reason for writing this book, and of course
A lot of illustrations that some of the clothing, that clothing was the buttons that were applied to. Yeah. A local blacksmith was kept busy at his forge producing homegrown nails, because that was another product from the lead coming out of the mine. A vein, and in that vein there was silver. So it was a composite of lead and silver that created that vein of lead. And you're going to have to wait. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So anyways, the
So let me ask, first of all, what's the name of the book that your mom wrote?
the Manhattan River, North Branch.
And so mostly you're wanting us to know about the lead from the buttons that might have contaminated the region, and your concerns about the Tasty Top?
Oh, yeah.
concerned because of their historical value, their traceability, and that they can be used as evidence that that land would not be exhumed because of its historical value. I will continue where I left off. The local blacksmith was kept busy at his forge producing homegrown nails for the region. Locally produced nails are evident in Westhampton, Southampton, at the First Congregational Church. Tumultuous times, as evidenced by the Revolutionary War, that thus formed Loudville, bringing to the fore Mr. Lyman's discovery of lead, and subsequently the domain of Caleb Loud and other entrepreneurs that prevailed in its early years. As we move on into the 21st century, Loudville has become quite a quiet residential community. The Manhattan River and its subsidiary streams forged a high point in small industry, but it also became a considerable part of their industrial downfall.
Okay, so how does this link with the Tasty Top property?
The land that the Tasty Top
Yeah.
sits on conceivably has buttons in it. I'm not talking about a stream of lead. I'm talking
Yeah.
about buttons that would be impacted.
Yeah,
Archaeologically significant,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
but there is this white farmhouse way in the back that was demolished.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would take a year for, its demolition delay and for something to happen where Tasty Top used to be. And yeah. And from what I gather, where the Neshawanic is, this little power building, they
Yeah.
call it,
Mm-hmm.
I think there are buttons right there down at the bottom, and the bottom of the river.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they also had boats of cloth and anyway, so
I just came from a garden club meeting. Marty Klein was there talking from the Pascomet Conservation Trust.
Mhm.
And they're getting involved in the whole thing around the Tasty Top development. And he was saying that I guess they're proposing that archaeological studies should be done on that property
Mm-hmm.
before anything else happens on that property.
And I think,
So,
yeah, excuse me, and I think part of what can be assumed is because it's not immediately obvious when you're in that area that there would be something of historical significance. You wouldn't know until you examined the area. And I ought to know because I was superintendent of the Southampton Cemetery Commission for a few years, and the workings and the beauty. What were you going to say, Paula?
no, go ahead.
When it came to access of the land of Enid Huntley and her husband, Mr. Johnson, and they had an I know I'm getting off the subject here, but an 80-acre crop of land that was used through the pooling of resources from various town departments. For heaven's sakes, I'm sorry. Yeah, but what I was going to say is that the pooling of funds from a variety of departments, and it was through the conservation and the cemetery commission, of course, and the historical society.
Somebody passed away, and there was a problem because the coffin swam a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a challenge to get it inside
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the vault.
Yeah.
And
Was it Southampton or Easthampton?
Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
So,
But the point that I wanted to make, it was the pooling of resources between conservation, CPA, and the other town departments in order to pooling of $80,000 in order to buy that parcel of land that now is an extension of the cemetery,
I think it's probably being used.
I'm sure.
Huh.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, we can, I'm not sure what we can do as far as suggesting anything as, to address your concerns. Anybody have any thoughts on this?
Well, I'm going to follow up on what you said earlier, Beverly. You said you just came from a meeting where they're talking about doing an archaeological survey.
Well,
Or,
I don't know if the state would get involved in possibly doing an archaeological survey of that area, especially now that we're involved in terms of the canal down there.
Partially, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in our mom's book, which we can put together a letter and send it to the committee's email address.
Yeah,
Yeah, would that be acceptable?
that would be perfect, actually.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm thinking about is thinking about the developers where Tasty Top was. And that is very difficult
Yeah.
to get through them.
Well, it's really difficult because we want to make sure that history is local history. It has so many stories to tell, and to just see it go in the name of economic interests.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of our
Dilemma.
dilemma, yeah. But, I mean, it's kind of one of the reasons we're here, is to, we don't really have a lot of power, but, we can make suggestions.
Right. And I
you
just
send your letter, compose your letter and send it to several departments, not just like, I mean, the planning commission,
and
to the mayor's office, and I don't know, send it to the Gazette.
send it to the Gazette.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. That'll also be testament to all of the work that our mom did.
Yeah,
there you go.
Send it
get
to,
some attention.
send it to Pascomic Trust, too.
Pascomic
Pascomic Conservation.
Pascomic Conservation Trust.
Thing. Huh?
Yeah, Paula, you're my secretary.
Well, that's why I'm looking in my green bag.
Here,
Thank you.
don't worry, Paula.
Okay.
Pascomic Trust has a website, pctland.org. You would find more information on where to send things.
PCTland.org. Okay. And other,
Gazette,
the Gazette.
planning commission,
Planning Board.
planning board. The mayor's office.
Mayor. The right person.
That's the one with power.
Yeah, when we came in, I said, you're Madam Mayor.
Not here.
Not yet.
Yeah, I know.
Not yet.
Probably not ever.
And then we have campaign finance reform. We can work that in. Okay.
When it comes to the renovation of the schools here in town, that's interesting planning.
It is.
Give me that, I'll put my email down on there, you can send me that.
Okay. Oh, sure. Thanks. Okay, and our emails, my sister's is paula@raplist.net.
PULUS.
RAPALUS.
.net.
Didn't your family once own the house that's now historic society?
Yes. And then it's Wallace@raplist.net.
They were across the street from my family.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Yeah.
Across Stone Path.
Stone Path.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Well, thank you very much for the input, and keep
You're
an eye
very
out.
welcome.
We have meetings usually the second Wednesday. We're a week early for other reasons this week, but yeah, it will certainly keep you in the loop on what's going on.
Okay.
All right.
That would be
Thank you.
great. That would be great.
Thank you.
Thank you both, and glad you're out of the hospital.
Thank you. Very good. Yeah, but I tell you, I never thought that I would get out of the hospital feeling so much better. What had happened to be was too much medication. My neurologist said, I'm looking at that. I take 11 a day. We're gonna get rid of some of those. Right.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very
Nice
welcome.
meeting you.
Likewise. Thank you both.
I'll shoot you an email. That's great. Can you spell the last name one more time?
It's
RAPALUS.
LUS. Okay, I got it right.
there.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right. We move on to approval of the minutes from February 8th.
I move we approve the February 8th minutes.
Yeah.
We have a second.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Put that down. And item number 4, correspondence. Okay, why don't you go with that again?
Oh, that was informal and off the record. That was
Okay.
just somebody asking about the dairy in town.
Okay, so that's,
And I responded to him.
Yeah. So it was just one of those, every once in a while I get inquiries from the website, and they mostly just asking, does anybody remember this, or does anybody remember that? So that's just an unofficial.
all right. Dan Risk replied to me after speaking to you, so I don't know if you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Thanks.
Thank you both.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Basically, you backed off. of
Be well.
everything.
Be well.
You as
I
well.
haven't responded to him yet. Probably will.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to be a rush at this point.
Okay.
He said he's gonna
Okay,
get back
good
to us.
Take care of
Yeah,
yourself.
thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you, yeah.
Sure thing.
So, I'm sorry, what did Dan say?
You can read that.
Oh,
Okay.
You can read that.
Okay, I will. Thanks.
I don't want to read it.
That's fine.
All right. Good
good
night.
night.
Take care.
I mean, where we were at last time.
Sure,
So
yeah,
it's-
with the
we basically
clock,
kind
yeah.
of said, yeah, I think I
Yeah.
spoke too soon and we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, you show up to the meetings.
Poor thing.
Leave me.
Anyways, my printer didn't do a very good job.
Oh. Printers are fine things. Ink is
They're finicky.
Well, I mean, they actually look okay, it's just they're very light, which is fine because it didn't use as much ink. But at least, just to have these older pictures, it'd be kind of interesting maybe to get another look up there. I mean, I won't be going up there for a while, but
Maybe a drone could go up and take pictures for us.
yeah, there you go. Get Jerry, who used to be a steeplejack, he could go up there.
There's a job.
He's retired now, he's not doing anything. But, anyways. I'll wait till she finishes with that. And I'll move on to the next thing. I don't think we're gonna dwell in it too much very long anyways.
Just gonna wait for the next bit of correspondence.
As far as the clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do, like I said, well, we'll talk about that when I get to number 6. It's just the response. I think, I mean, the questions that we had for him were basically kind of, he kind of addressed some of it just by saying, well, we'll get to it when we get to it. There was, it was a little rushed, I think, you know what I mean, before. He said, you're gonna do this, and if you say it's okay, we'll do all this, but we really didn't have much information to say okay to, you know. That was the problem. It'd be fine to say like, oh yeah, okay, but, you know, it might not have been the proper way to go about it.
Where is this from?
This is you were there, weren't you? When we went?
Yeah, she was. You were.
This is from 2006. You remember this guy, don't you? Where is he?
I didn't know what this was.
Did you go there?
I did. Yeah, I did.
That guy?
He still lives in town.
I see him every now and then at Big E's.
Yeah, I didn't get to go over some.
But of course, it was cleaned up after this, right?
Yep.
It was working for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For a little while.
Good stuff, thanks.
What do you think? Good? Appropriate
Take-
response?
Yep, totally fine. And
All right. Okay, also from Russell Bryan, B-R-A-E-N, parkhillorchard.com. Working with MDAR. Do you know what that is?
Fake wood.
And our contractor to build a food storage and processing building here. On the proposed site of the new building is an old barn which we need to remove. I understand there's a process for older buildings which include review by the Historical Commission before a permit for demolition is granted. Building commissioner suggested I contact the Historical Commission to talk about what we need to do. So we just need to respond.
what's the address for the barn? I mean, is it the orchard itself?
Yeah, that's all I got was Park Hill Orchard. I'm not sure exactly which one that is, or where the barn is.
Right.
It's probably
Right
not
next to the
registered.
store, or if it's across the street, I don't know.
Don't know, but I mean, I'm sure we could find that out. So we want to know where. And maybe some, what else do we want to know?
Does the letter say if it's a safety thing or a stability thing? Or is it just
No, I
a-
think it's to put a new building. So it's, I don't know if it's salvageable, so we just need,
information?
possible relocation. Maybe, invite him to a meeting.
Sure.
Invite or invite,
Do they know the age of the building?
basically I read you all the information I have, so I don't know. I mean, so, I mean, we want to know what we got. What's a barn? How old? We know kind of where it is, but not exactly. Condition of it. Okay. I think I can put together something besides the, invite him with, like, this is what we can, can you think of anything you want to see if he shows up at a meeting with, some drawings or whatever? That's a question.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything
Well, I mean, like,
Yeah.
okay, so what you want to put there, we like,
Right,
like
yeah.
a site plan.
Are any of the buildings up there on the register?
I don't think so. Can you look up Park Hill?
yeah, I can't remind me what the macros.org. I think so.
.gov maybe?
You're right, .gov.
Like I said, I don't know. I mean, if it's, if it's old, if they could move it to somewhere else to save it. I don't know that farm well enough to say like, oh, okay, it's over here and.
Yeah, well, I know that there's some structures on like the commerce side of it, but then there's some on the other, like across the street.
Well, across the street and up the hill is
Yeah.
all the tourists.
Well, not the house, but I mean, there's another barn.
But I think the one up the hill across the street is Mall of Taurus, not Park Hill.
But isn't there another barn lower down on the hill on that side?
There's another farm.
It's another farm.
Is this the farm? Is this the farm right here?
Yeah. And so back behind on the other side, there's a barn. I used to see one
Okay, so here it looks like there's
They're like
a
this.
bit downhill a little bit before.
Yeah. It drops.
Finding anything?
No, I don't find anything.
Maybe something, one of these maybe?
Maybe, but I thought that
Could
there
be
was
that.
something across the street as well, so I could be wrong, but
No, I'm not finding anything.
Arch
draw it
orchard.
over there.
No, that's just like parking right there for the,
I think the buildings you see from that are the ones up the hill that are
Mall
Mall
of
of
Taurus.
Taurus.
There's nothing over here. Except art. And then there's barns way up here
Mhm.
on the ridge. Well, I mean, it'd be up to them to give us what information.
Yeah, I mean,
that
I
they
just
have.
would like to know
Yeah, sure.
any more if they.
This is great. I don't think this was this way last time. The macros has an interactive date. I mean,
No way.
map.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, Macros Maps. is-
Yeah, was it this way for a while?
I don't remember seeing that
6
before.
months maybe?
Because you can click on this, and then you get the detail, and you can click on Street View, and it takes you to the Google map.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it's-
Somebody improved it.
Yeah, it's much improved.
That's
This
fantastic.
is quite nice. Yeah. So each of those is an inventoried building. I assume our recent inventory would be included here.
Should be.
And then you click on it and you get the inventory catalog. And you can even, again, you know I'm always clicking on Google Maps to study the layout. You can click right on it from there.
Interesting.
Yeah, yes. it's not a touchpad.
I never got used to these. I always had a mouse.
Yeah, it's a little trigger
It's-
trigger happy. Yeah, it's very touchy.
Okay, bring me up to Park Hill.
Let's see. I can't see very well, so you might have to point in the direction. Let's see. Be down here, wouldn't it?
We're going the wrong way. It's gonna be up to this place. We got it. No,
It's got to be here, right?
no, that's Florence Road. That's gonna be over this way.
Whoa, it's really jumpy. Here, maybe use these a little better.
Try it putting in Park Hill.
Park Hill, there we go.
I don't think there's anything on it.
No,
The
there's-
survey.
No, there's, what is this?
It used to belong to the
The
Siemens.
Josiah Phelps Bartlett Jonathan House, which is it? Phelps Josiah Bartlett Jonathan House. One of those, presumably.
I don't have an address on that, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's,
I don't think there was anything that was surveyed.
but this new macros map is really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so no, we don't have any.
Okay. All right, good. Okay. So I was looking for that, I got sidetracked by all this crazy stuff. Okay, anybody else have any comments on that? That maybe that I'm not thinking of? I can do a draft and send it to everybody. Sure.
Fine.
Any input? All right, why don't we do that then? Or do the Phil. Maybe I'll call him first. Then write a letter. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Number 5, Envision Main Street Community Outreach Meeting. Let's see, where did it go?
Did it happen already?
I think so.
I haven't been too aware of things for a while.
I'm so sorry.
It's actually, far out, sorry, 3/14. Okay, so the Envision Main Street Community Outreach Meeting is March 14th at 6 p.m. at the Congregational Church.
Tuesday.
Yeah. I have attachments I can forward to everybody.
Okay.
In fact, I'll do this right
Are
now.
there any
Thanks.
pictures yet? Any drawings yet?
For Main Street.
Yeah. Or not yet?
I didn't look at these. I was busy with other stuff and did not. Let's see, forward. Forward. Okay, to Beverly. Tracy. It's kind of cool. Everybody comes up with just one letter. Right? It's like, here's your emails. I don't have to think anymore. Thank God.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so. Attach a file. Just send it. Okay, so you all should have those attachments from there.
Thanks.
The city engineer sent me the notification
Thanks.
on that. I'm not sure if there's really anything that's going to affect us, but might be interested to have some input into it anyways.
Did you say it was Enrichment Center? What did you call the meeting on the 14th?
Envision.
Oh, Envision, okay. I got confused, but I
Say
keep
that.
going back to that Enrichment Center on Union Street, and that's confusing me. What is that?
Okay.
That's the,
Is that by the hardware store?
where the hardware store used
That's
to be.
what that's
that
what
new
gonna be called. It's
construction.
gonna be called
Yeah, and it's,
the social
it's an
service
assistant.
agents. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to send you something else, which
Oh,
actually has to do with Main Street. So you'll have 2 emails to look at. I found a notebook. This is kind of cool. Before we get to the next thing. from, I think it was Walter Rushin, Wallace Rushin, his first name was, from like the 30s and the 40s. A lot of it's just drawings, like street and radiuses and granite curbing and that kind of stuff. But there was a couple of things in there. I took a picture of one. Well, I took a picture of one of them I sent to you about Main Street. The beginning. So this was, the town has been allocated an additional $3,000 from the state to aid on the Main Street Highway project.
Wow. Nowadays, that would get you a traffic count.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm not sure what this. I think that was like the late 30s, early 40s, maybe even earlier. 1947. I'm sorry. I did have it in there. The other thing. Oh God. Good thing I don't have to think much because I just totally lost my train of thought. Took a picture of it, so not my train of thought.
I was going to say, you took a picture of your train of thought?
Yes, leaving the station.
How old are we now?
Too old. February 11th, 1934. This is just a note in this note. William Lee died of pneumonia at his home on 16 Pine Street at 8:30 p.m. Buried Brookside Cemetery, February 14th, 1934. And then the one below it, February 13, 34, William McBain found dead in First National Bank near his locker with bullet in his head.
Oh my goodness.
way.
Reason for suicide is unknown.
Suicide.
And that's it.
Whoa, that's a very...
Allegedly, yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Wow.
Wow,
But I read that,
yeah.
I'm going like,
Yeah, that's not the first thing that I think of when you're found next to your bank vaults.
well, his locker. So
Your
he was
locker.
He was in the locker room. I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
I don't know where, I mean, that was the bank that burnt down, right? First National. Where Cumberland Farms was back in the day. So the Chop Row, that's the last building there. Pretty sure that was First National Bank.
I don't know if that was First National or Easthampton Savings,
I'm sure.
because my father worked there on that side of the street before they built the Easthampton Savings.
Right. After they tore Williston down.
Right.
Anyways, just a little side note.
Yeah.
I thought it was really
Stuff.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the town clock, what were we gonna say about this again?
Maybe we should just go for ice cream. I think.
Yeah. I got a lot of free ice cream at Burger King. Give that the hockey games. I did want to say one more thing about the town clock, I think. Oh, what I was going to say about the clock restoration is maybe we should, do a little brainstorming and or research into how exactly would it need to be done to meet our approvals, materials and that kind of stuff. Is there substitute materials somewhere if they were going to do it using CPA funds and our approval? Instead of just saying, oh yeah, go ahead and do it.
What would it take?
What would it take exactly? Yeah. So to do it by the book, in a sense, I'm sure there's a little bit of leeway there, but I would like to get it as close as possible. At least have something when we're looking at what they're proposing. We get a yin and yang. Did you get locked out?
I'm hoping, and this is why I'm trying to.
You were hoping you were locked out.
Yeah, I did actually.
Okay, so anyways, she's spying on us. It's a public meeting anyways. Okay, so that's it. Demo delay revising. We're still stuck on that. Jamie's not here. She's downstairs working on a grant, I guess. Historic sign program. We're still interested, right?
Yeah.
Since last time.
Yeah, I looked at some of your examples from that list. There's some nice ones, some tasteful ones. and
Yeah, I mean, I think
and
the
Good launching points.
yeah, I think the next step would be to maybe look at some people that would make signs and see what they would charge to do it. And then come up with okay, this is what it's gonna cost. And then try to organize it to where maybe you reach out to some people to get the ball rolling and get it known,
Pasconic Trust has done signs on the trails, informational signs.
Okay.
And Marty was in charge of that.
Yeah.
And I could ask Marty
Sure.
who they used. If you've been to the place on East Street, Mutter Field, and there are signs there that they've done.
Yeah. I'm not sure who's,
That were
I don't even know who's making signs around here anymore.
Mantis Graphics does,
Yeah, it just does.
I think so.
Okay. You gotta go there.
But I'll have to ask.
They do clothing too.
I'll have to
We're
ask.
gonna get uniforms for the historical commission.
I know where to find the buttons.
How about a hat?
So.
I want a hat.
Okay, yeah. We'll get you a bucket hat.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll try to get that moving a little bit more. Get in touch with Marty. He can email me. I know he knows me. That'd be a good starting point. Tasty Talk, we have nothing left to say about that. Canal, there's no updates. Project ideas, it's just not the time. Items not reasonably anticipated. I think if I had something that I did not anticipate at all. I don't think so.
The public
Happened
speak.
tonight.
Yeah.
No, nobody can see that coming. So that's it. Schedule the next meeting, I guess, unless somebody has anything else to contribute. So we're looking at I was in Pittsfield. Matter of fact, I was right around the corner from what's his name's house?
I need more than that.
Can
Well,
you
he
see
wrote a book.
the train?
Melville.
Melville's house. Herman.
Herman's house.
Yeah, Herman's house. Which actually I rode by. It's the 12th, April 12th.
April 12th.
We'll be back.
Yeah, I should be around. April 12th, 6:30
Sure.
here. Or wherever we can find room. There's not much space downstairs anymore. Crazy. Okay, do we have a motion to end this?
I move we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, what time is that? That's...
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.